The Prime Initiative.
Fitness, diet, and exercise is such a extremely important part of our life. It helps us with so many different things, a vast array of different things. It helps us with metabolism. It helps us have better sleep. It helps us have better energy throughout the day. It could help us with our relationships. It could help us with just critical thinking skills. It definitely helps us out with our employment, regardless of what you do. It allows you to be a more effective employee. Needless to say, it's one of the most important facets of our life. However, it could be intimidating, right? I mean, when I was first starting my first exercise venture, I was a teenager. Internet wasn't around. Yeah, believe it or not. All the information that we got was through either word of mouth or magazines, right? Muscle Fitness magazine or Men's Health magazine at that time. But needless to say, times have changed. Everything now is lightning fast information straight to your face with just a tap of your phone. Which leads us to this next venture. The Prime Initiative is very fortunate to visit a gym in Rancho Cucamonga by the name of Addicted to Fitness, A2F. I heard rumors about this gym that it was very family oriented, that there was no egos there, and they were all there for, regardless of what it is, whether it be you're trying to get better at your job, you want to have the best body possible, you want to compete, it doesn't matter. They could facilitate it all. So I couldn't help myself. I had to go visit for myself. And I have to say, I was definitely surprised. The level of love and warmth that I received was amazing. And I was just a newcomer. The people there were also amazing. The ones that had been there for years and the ones that just started working out. Everyone there was just humble and doing their thing. What an amazing experience. But we were fortunate enough to interview the master trainer, the owner, and a couple other rock stars that belong to that gym. I hope you guys enjoy this. Hopefully, this could kind of push you into the direction you want to go for your fitness ventures. Enjoy.
Well, I started my fitness venture basically because of my parents. When I was 4 years old, um, they started me skiing and swimming at 4 years old. The first recollection of doing anything athletic was being in Lake Tahoe. My mom was at the top of the driveway. I was 4 years old with a pair of wooden skis on, not to age myself or anything. And my dad was at the end of the driveway and he'd catch me and they just stood me up. I stood stiff as a board because I was scared to death, paralyzed. And eventually, after a few times, I liked it. And then they took me off to Mount Rose to take some skiing lessons. And then I was hooked on sports from then. From there, and I played soccer. We was nationally ranked swimmer, college football, pro, all that kind of stuff. The typical pedigree you find a lot of coaches and trainers out there, and it just morphed into a part of my life, and it's always been a part of my life. Basically, it's kept me disciplined, goal oriented. I'm the kind of person that I love helping other people, and it's been my way to reach out to other people and help them out. I know how hard it is to stay fit, to get fit to begin with. I've always lifted and always kept myself very muscular and strong, but I've also gotten out of shape too. So I know what it's like to go back and forth between both things. Another thing that benefited me was I got a chance to meet my wife, who's been my rock of Gibraltar. She's everything to me. We met. She wasn't into fitness. I was completely opposite. Everything about me was fitness. She was in a very dark part of her life. At the same time, I was preparing for a big CrossFit competition, and they found out that I had really bad arthritis, had to have a hip replacement. So at that particular point in my life, I thought, man, I'm not going to be able to work out anymore. And that became a very dark spot in my life because all of a sudden, something that's such an important part of my life was being taken away from me. And because of my wife standing by me and encouraging me to use that as motivation to get back in shape, to not quit, we are where we are today. We opened up A2F Gym, Addicted to Fitness, basically on the idea and motivation of my wife. Once again, my rock of Gibraltar and you know, my savior. I've always wanted to have a gym. When my basic sports career ended, I got into bodybuilding. I had the opportunity in the 80s and 90s to work out with some people like Rich Gaspari, you know, Lee Haney, and learned so much from them. Those two guys were two fantastic champions. You know, I still remember a story where I was training for my first bodybuilding contest, and Lee Haney actually came over very humbly, helped me out, and gave me some pointers. And I thought, what a fantastic champion. What a fantastic person to take the time to do that. And I've kind of modeled myself after that. And I enjoy doing that as well. And she and I were both at this dark spot in our lives. And she got into fitness and she's like, look, you've always been into it. Why don't we do something together? So we both got certified. I became a master trainer, et cetera, all the, you know, bells and whistles you need. And she was challenged to open up a gym. And one thing you don't do with my wife is don't challenge her because you will lose. And next thing you know, about 9 months after the challenge, the exact month she said she'd open the gym, we opened up this gym. September 17th, 2016, I believe. Yeah. I think this sense of community and family here. We believe in treating each other with kindness and respect, but also pushing each other. We don't have room for arrogance and narcissism in this gym. And one of the things we love to do, I don't care if you're one of my pro bodybuilders, my pro bikini girls, you're somebody who's trying to get in shape because the doctor said get in shape or you're going to die, or you're somebody shredding for a wedding. We're all the same. And we all encourage each other to reach their goal. And it doesn't matter who you are, what level you are. And I think that's what separates us from a lot of people. We've become a family. If you look at our gym, the people in our gym, they're all ages, races, colors, religions, and we all come in here with one purpose: to make ourselves better and to encourage everybody else. And we've always lived by that mantra.
Hi, my name's Arlene Cherry, and other than working out, my favorite hobby is to play cards. It's a card game called Pusoy. I love playing blackjack, and I am a gambler, and I love it. Well, at age 50, I faced the worst time of my life. I was going through a divorce after 30 years of being married. At that time, my husband decided he didn't want to be married anymore. So it threw me for a loop. I went into a deep depression, not even knowing that I was depressed. And one day my son, there's pivotal people that have been in my life, important people that have helped me along the way. So my son came over one day and said, I want my mom back. Now, mind you, at age 50, I had never lifted weights or never trained ever before. And he said, Mom, I want my mom back, and the only way I'm going to get you back is you need to go work out. I owned one pair of tennis shoes, which was my daughter's hand-me-down, because I didn't work out. So he put my shoes on, put music in my ear, he made me go outside, and he wanted me to just run and start training. So after that, he said, go get a trainer. So I went ahead and got a trainer along with my niece who helped me along the way because she knew I had never worked out before. So she came with me. I met my first trainer named Reed, and Reed actually looked at me and asked me, have you ever thought about competing? And I said, no, I've never thought about competing. I'm too old, I'm 50. And so he said, if I can get you there, would you do it? And I said, okay, I'll go ahead and do it. I needed to focus on something bigger than the issue that I was facing at the time. And so I talked to my brother. My brother said, it's really hard. You're not going to be able to do it. So I bet him $100 that I would go on stage. So 12 weeks later, I got on stage. I had over 30 people in the audience. I took dead last, but I was happy as can be because I felt like it totally transformed me. And I was able to come back better and stronger. So at that point, I decided I wanted to change careers. And I got down on my hands and knees and said, okay, where do you want me? Doors open, fitness. Now, mind you, fitness was never a goal or desire or plan. Soon after, I had met my now husband, Mark Cherry, and God has a way of doing things because I was just starting off in fitness, and he sends me a man who is a bodybuilder, who's a football player, CrossFitter, and we crossed paths, and that's when I had met him. So I went ahead and started doing boot camp at the park at 5 in the morning. And because I wanted to help people, I wanted to inspire women. I found that there's a lot of broken people out there, especially women. So I wanted to specifically help women. And so at the park, I started with 8 people. 4 of them were family members that didn't pay me because, family are cheap, right? So they didn't pay me. I started for the first 6 weeks, and all I wanted to do was make fitness fun. I didn't want it to be boring because I wanted to make fitness fun, kill them with a smile. And so the first 6 weeks, they got incredible results. I went and got certified. Mark helped me out along the way because people would say, what are we working? What part of the muscle are we working? Where are you feeling it? I'm feeling it right here. Well, that's what we're working. So that was my humble beginnings. Soon after, it started to begin to grow. After a year, I had over 100 people come into my boot camps, and I started renting space at a gym. Each gym would close down, and all of our members would say, open a gym, and we'll follow you. So I said, Mark, come move out here with me. Help me open this gym. So he moved in. We started our life together. He created all of this. I wouldn't have been able to do any of this without him. He's like the brains of the operation, like the Beauty and the Beast, right? He's the beauty. No, I'm like, so we opened up the gym in 2016. And we started off with boot camp. We didn't have all this equipment. We kept adding more and more. And then I decided I wanted to move it into more private training. So we started doing group training, personal one-on-one, and also competitive training. So along the way, this is what we've been able to build. We built a gym, consists of men and women, but primarily women over the age of 40, believe it or not. So there's 40s, 50s, 60s, even 70-year-olds. But the 40-year-olds look like they're 20. The 50-year-olds look like they're 30. The 60-year-olds look like they're 40. I'm 62 years old. I've been lifting now for 12 years. This is not bought. This is earned. So I built this alongside with my husband. So a lot of people think that this comes naturally. It did not come naturally. I hated to work out, never wanted to be in the gym. I was just a little princess, you know, and when I totally changed career, totally changed my life. And also building a career alongside my husband. My passion in life has always been to inspire and to motivate people for change. And I'm finally living that purpose in my life.
Hi, my name's Valkyrie. My hobbies are working out. I love being outside, so rollerblading, being at the beach, hikes. I just love being active. To meet this awesome family that I heard so much about, and Amber, and Arlene, and Mark. I all met them through my husband on Instagram, and they just welcomed me right in. Today's my first day of training. It was fucking hard. And everyone was welcoming, very friendly, just open hands. I have not been into a facility that's ever done that before. It started a long time ago when I was 232 pounds at the age of 21. I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I need to change my life. And from that day forward, I have not stopped, and I've only gotten better even being at 41, and I just want to keep improving every day to be in the best shape of my life and to compete here at this gym.
My name's Amber Lynn Lamb. My favorite snack is chocolate rice cakes. I love those. Speak louder. Sorry. Okay. Sorry. I'm like, so scared. My favorite snack is chocolate rice cakes. Hobby is baking. I love cooking. I love baking. It's something that I've done since I was, 12 years old with my grandma and with my mom. So it's something I really enjoy. So I've always enjoyed working out, but I think like most women, you kind of gravitate towards what you understand. So like I was so much comfortable doing like cardio or those type of things. And I was really intimidated by doing weights. So I needed help learning how to like grow and learning how to develop that muscle tone, especially like the older that I got in life. I think once I turned 40, that really changed. So I just started researching it, and then once I found this place, it's been absolutely wonderful for me. Horrible. Tired. AF. No pun intended. I was exhausted for the first 2 weeks, just like I think anyone is. I think the first week you're so excited to get going and like have everyone there, and like it's just something new for you, and you're like wanting to transform and change your body and your life. And after that first week, your body starts to shut down a little bit. But I think like most people, if you can really push through it, it just becomes addictive. And now you go from 2 days to 3 days to 10 days, and then you're here all the time, and it's like you don't want to leave. Like I love the women that are here. It's amazing. And Mark. I think for me, it was a lot of like mom guilt. So when I first started coming here, it was something that I was doing to kind of work through just like life struggles, right? I was struggling with my son. I was struggling with my life. I was just struggling with like kind of like mentally getting myself back on a page that I needed, that I felt like myself, and I needed kind of some of that assistance. So when I started coming back, it does take time away from your family, and it does take time away from those things. And it's a difficult kind of counterbalance to have when you're wanting to invest so much in your child and you want to invest so much in your husband and yourself, but yet you feel like you're taking from someone. So I think for me, that was the hardest part, was finding that balance. But I think once everyone gets that niche and you find that balance, it makes things 10 times better, because you're a better mom, you're a better wife, you're a better friend, because you have energy, you're more motivated, you're happy, like you just feel kind of like a weight has been lifted off you. And so I think for me, that was the hardest part. But once I got past that hurdle, it was probably the best thing, because you push through it, you know? I mean, it's been positive in all avenues. So not just from like physically how I feel, physically how I look, those are obviously bonuses, but mentally how I am to people around me, I think I'm a different person, right? I think I'm happy. I feel like how you are in life is infectious to others. So if you come in with a bad attitude, a shit attitude, it's gonna rub off on people. And I felt like that's not what I want to be. Like, I wanna come in and I wanna be a light spirit. I wanna be happy. I wanna be playful. That's what I wanted. And I felt like the more that I worked out, the more I was here, the more that I poured into myself, the more I actually gave to others around me. And it came back towards me. Because if you give good, I think majority of the time you get it back. If you give shit, you get shit back. But if you have a loving, warm attitude, and positivity really does come back to you, I think, if you put it out there. I really loved doing the competition. So I've done one. I did one in November. It was an amazing experience for me. But I took second, which was still great. Of course, just doing it was my goal. Getting up there and being on stage in front of those people is nerve-wracking. But I really enjoyed it, and I had so much support that I think it kind of fed that drive to want to continue to do it again. So I definitely want to do another one. I'm going to do it in June, and I hope to win. And then if I can continue to do it and maybe get my pro card in my 40s, I think that would be an amazing goal. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't, but I would really like to try to do that. Thank you.
All right, I like what you got there. Let me show you what I got. Check this out. Bring the bass line. Hey, yo, shut it down.
These brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, never gotta roll with ice. Generations caught up, look how things will switch. People they're quick, now they wanna move at the bits. Boy wanna throw to bitch, nah. Cool, these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, never gotta roll with ice. Cool, these brothers my guys, know that they fly, know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side, CJ Ike, never gotta roll with ice. Generations caught up, look how things will switch. People they're quick, now they wanna move at the bits. Boy wanna throw to bitch, nah. Generations caught up, look how things will switch. People they're quick, now they wanna move at the bits. Boy wanna throw to bitch, nah.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Quite an experience, I have to say. I love going to this gym. It definitely is a drive for me, but it's worth it. You know, once you find that home gym with the people that you care about and love, and they do the same thing to you, it's all fair game now, right? Your goals are attainable. Anything is attainable. Again, guys, I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you have an opportunity to go visit. We'll be doing more videos like this. But until then, keep fighting.
The Prime Initiative.